As a member of Generation Z, I've learned to take pride in my generation, born from 1995 to 2015. Greta Thunberg, born in 2003, inspired millions to protest against climate change. Malala Yousafzai, born in 1997, is the youngest person to ever receive a Nobel Peace Prize. Gen Z has held school walkouts to protest gun laws and stood in solidarity against police force to support the Black Lives Matter movement. Today, I'm here to show you how different we truly are and the unique challenges we've faced growing up. It's no secret that generations grow up to see the world differently, and the parents of Gen Z, they know that. Gen Z is obviously no exception to this. There are so many reasons that Gen Z is the way it is, but it all comes down to our upbringing. The phases where your kid became who they are today, how they transformed from that happy, playful child to a complicated, closed-off, and likely unhappy teenager. Now, I don't have to give you all a history lesson for you to know that social media and the internet weren't available when previous generations were growing up. And the internet makes a lot of things easier, but it's one of our most defining traits. The vast majority of Gen Z is part of some sort of social media platform. Apps like Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube are practically raising us. But social media is extremely toxic to one's mental health. There's so many critics out there telling you that your nose is too big or that you need to change your weight based on the pictures that you post. You're compared to perfect people living seemingly perfect lives. Users think they must be happier, they've got it all. This is not the user's fault, but simply the way that social media is designed. App designers make social media as addicting as possible to generate maximum revenue, and all the algorithms point to pretty people and perfect lives getting recognition. These are perfect lies, really. Angles, Photoshop, and makeup all exist. Constant comparison to unrealistic people is not healthy for anyone. The Journal of Abnormal Psychology did a study that shows that since the rise of social media, suicide rates among teenagers have skyrocketed, increasing by 52% compared to previous generations. Depressive psychological episodes have also increased by 71% in young people. Now you might be thinking, why is Gen Z the only one that's suffering? Don't other generations have access to social media as well? That's true. Lots of generations have social media, but Gen Z experiences social media during the most influential years of their youth. Gen Z has been on addicting, toxic apps as children. That does so much to not just the adult mind, but a child's. The effects are catastrophic. Not only that, but other forms of communication are dying out, such as letters and phone calls, leaving Gen Z with only their socials to turn to. According to the American Psychological Association, Gen Z is 27% more likely to report mental health issues than other generations due to issues that have only come up in the past 20 years, like school shootings, the polarized political climate, increased police brutality, the feeling that us young people can't do anything about any of these issues that we face, and most prominently, social media. Another big problem with social media is that it is dividing us. Using social media, we come together for the causes that cater to our political viewpoints. We're an instant generation, posting videos and pictures of social injustice, signing petitions, showing up at protests. But social media only gives you what you want to see. Different videos pop up on different people's phones based on what they click, political ideology, where they live. So a strong Democrat living in California might see criticisms of conservative ideology, but a Republican living in Mississippi would see criticisms of the left side. This, combined with an increase in political polarity over the past 50 years, creates a huge divide between younger people, typically left-leaning, and older generations, typically right-leaning. Now, perhaps social media is one of the causes of this divide, but we can't let age differences divide us. Although most of Gen Z can't even vote yet, we are the future, the next politicians, parents, VCs, CEOs, billionaires, and leaders. So how about we work together? The solution to all these problems is not as simple as you might think. It's obvious that if social media is causing so many problems, that it should just be discouraged and deleted. But the fact is that app designers have made social media so addicting that it is extremely hard to eradicate these influences from teenage lives. Even if parents forcibly delete these apps from teens' phones, they will experience withdrawal. And the industry of social media is worth trillions, so there's no way to prohibit it without serious economic backlash. As someone who's personally experienced the detriments of social media and the initial withdrawal of its absence, all I can say is that we should be focusing on the people who we know are there for us and not the thousands that might like your pictures. We should focus on the love that others feel for us and the depth of that love, rather than the number of followers you have on TikTok. We should all take a small step back and focus on ourselves and not worry about those Instagram models that you know nothing about. Imagine a world free of all the negativity of social media. If you're worried about communication, we still have that. Text messages, video chats. Think of what we could do all the way in Washington without social media to strengthen our divides, without social media to push up the suicides. What if it became a tool rather than a weapon? A way to say hello and get your news without getting caught up in the latest celebrity selfies. A way to promote awareness and a place of acceptance for all viewpoints, free of hate comments and cyberbullying. Gen Z doesn't have to face mental health struggles in silence. Every single one of you can help us by making social media a better place to grow up in. Thank you.